I get it that some people just don't know what to make of me.
Well, this morning, we are trying to gauge what people are making of Hillary Clinton's speech last night. It went for about an hour, and the entire time, Wells Fargo Arena was roaring with a whole lot of applause.
All right, so now we get a little more in-depth on the success or failure of Hillary Clinton's speech, not from a political standpoint, from a communication standpoint. How well did she get her message across? We're joined by Leslie Ungar, who's now become a regular on our friend of show from Electric Impulse Communication. Leslie, this was certainly an historic moment. I think we all agree on that. But did Hillary back it up with an historic speech?
Okay, from a communication standpoint, one of the important lessons that we learned from this is that every speaker has multiple audiences. You don't just have one. So one of our audiences was the audience, as you said, in Wells Fargo Arena. And so there she has to get the Bernie Sanders supporters, and she has to get everybody. But then you have the audience outside of the arena.
Which was more important at this
which
point.
is the independents and maybe some Republicans and some undecided. So one speech had a really big job of getting all of these people together, and honestly, I'm a big believer in speech, but there's only so much one speech can do.
A lot of political pundits said last night, some described it as a positive speech. And I noticed that when I went through the transcript of what Hillary Clinton said, when she said something negative, she always came back with a positive. Is that a speech tactic?
Yes, we call that a communication sandwich. So if you think about an Oreo, you've got the cream in the center with two sides. So if you're going to say something negative, it is easier for your audience to absorb it if you say something positive, something negative, something positive. That's easier for the audience. Plus, I think strategically, she's looking at a very positive vision of America, and the voters are going to decide which vision they like or which vision they believe in. But that's a communication strategy.
Leslie owns and runs Electric Impulse Communications, where she works with corporate CEOs on how to develop their communication message for a lot of different roles and functions. That's why she's our expert here today. Now, when we look at Mrs. Clinton, a lot of people have said she's shrill.
Yes.
A lot of people then counter that with, she gets that because she's a woman. I don't know if that's true or not. Did that shrillness that some people are talking about come across last night in that speech?
It did. The way that I explain it to my clients is that men and women have different challenges. It's not like women have challenges and men don't.
Right.
They're just different challenges. And women will be seen as shrill when a man won't be seen as shrill. I think that
and that's true. As the man sitting here, I buy into that.
Yeah. We all have different challenges. She was less shrill than she has been before. But there's a really fine line between anger and passion. There's a really fine line between being really engaged and too engaged.
Right.
So, these are all things that have to be worked on, whether you're speaking to your PTA or whether you're doing a PowerPoint for your business. It's not a simple formula, and you really have to practice it. So I would say she was less, but she also has kind of the bad luck of following, one of the best speakers from a president in history is Obama. So she's got a higher bar to be compared to.
It's always a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you for coming. I appreciate it.